Welcome to a new video from the Color Vistas brand. Today, we'll cover an essential part of sublimation printing: how to load sublimation paper correctly into your printer. Loading the paper might seem straightforward, but doing it the wrong way can lead to poor print quality and wasted materials. So in this video, I'm going to show you step-by-step how to load sublimation paper properly and avoid common mistakes. Let's get started. Why loading sublimation paper correctly matters. Getting the paper loaded correctly is crucial for ensuring high-quality prints. When sublimation paper isn't positioned right, you can experience issues like smudging, paper jams, or dull colors. Sublimation printing requires precision because the ink needs to transfer perfectly from the paper to your item, whether it's a t-shirt, mug, or piece of decor. Step 1. Understanding the type of sublimation paper. Before you load your paper, it's important to know that sublimation paper has two distinct sides. The printable side. This is usually the slightly brighter or shinier side and is where you'll print your design. It's coated to hold the sublimation ink and transfer it to your substrate. The non-printable side. This side is typically duller and is not meant for printing. Printing on the wrong side will result in poor quality images and wasted ink. When preparing your paper, always check to ensure you're loading the paper with the printable side facing the correct way. Step 2. Preparing your printer. Here's how to get your printer ready for sublimation paper. Power off. If your printer is currently on, power it off. This ensures that the printer doesn't accidentally start a job while you're preparing to load the paper. Open the paper tray. Open your printer's paper tray and remove any standard printer paper. Only sublimation paper should be used when running a sublimation job to avoid any mix-ups. Step 3. Loading the sublimation paper. Now for the key part: loading the sublimation paper. Depending on your printer, you'll either be using a rear feed tray or a front loading tray. Let's cover both methods. For rear feed printers, position the paper correctly. With rear feed printers, the paper is typically fed directly into the printer from the back, which means the printable side should be facing you. You'll want to place the paper into the rear feed with the printable side facing outward. Align the paper. Gently adjust the paper guides to ensure that the paper is aligned straight. If the paper isn't aligned, it can lead to skewed prints or paper jams. Feed the paper. Once the paper is loaded correctly, give it a gentle push into the feeder tray, ensuring that it's ready for the printer to pick it up. For front-loading printers, face down for printable side. For most front-loading printers, the paper tray feeds the paper from the bottom. This means the printable side should be loaded face down in the tray. Adjust the paper guides. Again, make sure the paper is aligned correctly using the paper guides to avoid misaligned prints. If the paper is too tight, it might not feed smoothly. Insert the paper, slide the paper into the tray, making sure it fits snugly but isn't bent or crumpled. Step 4. Selecting the correct printer settings. Once your paper is loaded, you'll need to ensure that your printer settings are optimized for sublimation. Choose the right paper type. In your printer settings menu, make sure you select the paper type as high-quality photo paper or premium matte, depending on your printer model. This will ensure the correct ink density for sublimation printing. Adjust the print quality. Always select the highest print quality to get the best results. You want the ink to be applied to the sublimation paper in a way that maximizes color vibrancy and accuracy. Mirror the design. For most sublimation prints, you'll need to mirror or flip the image horizontally. This ensures that the design is transferred correctly onto your substrate when heat pressed. Step 5. Testing and printing. After loading your sublimation paper and setting your printer preferences, it's a good idea to run a test print. Here's why. Check alignment. Print a small test image to ensure the paper is loading properly and that the design is aligned on the paper. Verify print quality. Check the test print for color vibrancy and detail. If the colors look faded or the image isn't sharp, you may need to adjust the settings or reload the paper. Adjust if necessary. If the test print looks good, you're ready to move forward with your final design. If not, double-check the paper orientation and print settings before proceeding. Common mistakes to avoid. Here are a few common mistakes people make when loading sublimation paper and how to avoid them. Printing on the wrong side. Always double-check that the printable side of the paper is facing the right direction. This is one of the most common issues and will result in poor quality prints. Overloading the tray. Avoid overloading the paper tray with too many sheets of sublimation paper. Keep it limited to a few sheets at a time to avoid paper jams. Not using paper guides. Make sure to use the paper guides to properly align the paper in the tray. Misalignment can cause crooked prints or paper jams. Now let's discuss storing sublimation. Paper properly. To get the best results, it's also important to store your sublimation paper correctly. Here's how. Keep it dry. Store your paper in a cool, dry place. Excess humidity can cause the paper to curl or become unusable. Avoid sunlight. Keep the paper out of direct sunlight, as UV rays can degrade the paper's coating and affect print quality. Seal the packaging. If you're storing leftover paper, keep it in its original packaging or a resealable plastic bag to protect it from dust and moisture. Great! Let's move on to final thoughts. Loading sublimation paper correctly is one of the most important steps to ensure your prints come out crisp, vibrant, and perfectly aligned. By following these simple steps, you can avoid common mistakes and maximize the quality of your sublimation projects. Thanks for watching this video. I hope this guide helps you load sublimation paper correctly in your printer and improve the quality of your prints. Check the links in the description for sublimation products where applicable, and visit my website for additional resources. See link in the resources in the description below. Please consider liking my video and subscribing to my channel. See you in the next video.